All right, what were some of your dreams when you were a child, or what are some of your dreams right now? We're going to meet someone who's going right after them of becoming an action star or even a stunt man. Our China joins us.
Woman, right?
Stunt woman, excuse me. Yeah.
Yes, right.
China joins us with more on that. So you want to be a stunt woman?
No, not me, but maybe in another lifetime. Our guest today on Ins and Outs is a woman from the United States, Chelci Arnold, who came to Korea because she had originally aspirations to become an actress, an action star. And one thing that really caught her attention were the historical dramas in Korea, the period dramas where they're on horseback and they're conducting all sorts of martial arts. So this is what she was interested in and wanted to learn. This is in Korean 마상무예, equestrian martial arts. So let's see her tackle this activity.
Oh.
Already in action.
Yep, starting off strong here.
Oh.
Meet the woman showing off these powerful martial arts skills, Chelci Arnold.
Well, she's got such a baby face too, but not such a baby when it comes to...
I wouldn't want to meet her in a dark alley.
I like to watch historical dramas. In historical dramas, they have really amazing action scenes. There are even times when they do archery on horseback. That is something I really, really want to learn. Ins and outs, can you help me with that?
Equestrian martial arts. Yes, it's exactly what it sounds like, a type of martial arts done on horseback. This is a traditional form of Korean arts called 마상무예. And as you can see, it requires great skill, archery, sword-wielding techniques from atop a horse. Koreans come from an ancestry of horse-riding nomads. They lived a life where their livelihoods depended on their horses.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
네, 제 이름은 저씨입니다. 반갑습니다. 네.
And now, time for the riding lessons, but safety first. The instructor helped Chelci into safety gear for her first lesson.
어때요?
She couldn't wait to get started, but she ran into a slight hiccup.
It's difficult to get up on that horse. Quite high.
Exactly, it really isn't as easy as it looks. Luckily, the instructor was there to help out, and Chelci was a quick learner. She learned how to handle her horse, and then she learned how to work with her horse. Not bad for a first-timer. Chelci was adjusting and seemed to be getting more comfortable in the saddle.
I suppose you have to get in the rhythm.
잘 타네요. Good.
It was time to add to the challenge. Next up, archery. Ages ago, Koreans were revered for their craftsmanship of the bow and arrow, not to mention their great prowess of archery. Through the centuries, archery was a formidable skill mastered by the great warriors. Chelci was ready to test more of her athletic ability. She followed the instructor's directions carefully and studied her every move. Left hand holding the bow, fitting her arrow along the groove, and using 3 fingers to grasp it in place. Right foot pointed towards the target, left foot pointed to 1 o'clock.
Then focus.
Aim and shoot, exactly. The arrow didn't hit the target, but that was to be expected since it was her first shot.
가운데를 맞추기 위해서는 집중을 하고 팔 쏘기 전에 호흡을 잠시 멈춘 다음에 집중해서 쏘는 게 가장 중요한 거죠.
Focus, then breathe, then let go. 알겠습니다.
Chelci realized that she had to calm her mind and then focus in order to direct her arrow. She continued practicing one arrow after another, and she hit near the center.
I hurt my finger a little bit, but it's to be expected since it was my first time. So after this, I have to try doing archery on the horse, which is part of the whole martial art. I think I can do it though.
Chelci Arnold was now ready to get in full wardrobe. She's been interested in Korean period dramas on TV ever since she was young. Finally, she'd be able to get an inkling of what it'd be like to be in one herself. Will her arrow hit the target? Great posture, good form, but no hit. But she didn't come all the way here to fail. She focuses, aims,
All right.
and
Did she get it?
yes,
Wow,
shoots the
bullseye.
target.
She really is a
In the
quick
future, I
learner.
want to continue to do this, like horseback riding and archery. And today I felt like an action actress, so it was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. 잘했어. 고맙다.
She bonded with the horse too.
And even though there wasn't much time, she did get to move one step closer to her dream. And of course, we wish her all the best.
Wow, quite impressive.
I can't imagine that's the usual one off the bucket list for people in Korea, too.
Right.
Equestrian
Yeah.
martial art, right?
Yeah, it's different, I
So
would say.
She enjoyed it.
She did. She absolutely did. And it was kind of killing two birds with one stone here, right? You're learning two different skills, archery while horseback riding. So she told our staff that the archery part she was very impressed with, even herself, because it was just all done in a day's work. Meanwhile, the horseback riding part, that was something new for her too. But she said the horse was a good leader for her in this case. She was on a veteran horse apparently, and that really helped her out a lot.
And
Became a good experience.
마상무예 is something that dates back many centuries back, even to the Joseon dynasty. Right?
That's right. This is nothing new. In the Joseon dynasty, 마상무예 was actually a mandatory test for people who had an interest in guarding the country, officers to protect the country. And these delegations, this diplomatic delegation made up of these specialists were called Joseon 통신사, and they would be sent to Japan. And in Japan, they would show off their martial arts prowess, and crowds and crowds of Japanese would come and watch. You could say these were the original Korean wave stars in one way or
You could
another,
say
right?
that, you could
Yeah.
say that.
Right, but it wasn't Korea that had this type of martial arts. Even in the medieval times in Europe, they had this battle arts done on horseback, right?
Yeah, we're all familiar with the martial arts conducted in the medieval times, Roman chariots, for instance. And the 무예도 보통지 actually published in the 18th century. Due to that, we were able to relearn this whole training process from the Joseon dynasty, because this was actually halted during the Japanese occupation period of Korea. But thanks to this martial arts text, we were able to relearn it, and this practice became revived around 1990.
You know, I have a question. So since they do offer lessons like this, do people take them or, partake in this martial art for health benefits, perhaps, like taekwondo?
Yeah, if you were to start today, I would say it would be very hard, of course, but it's known to strengthen endurance, strengthen your muscles. And the first thing that you'll notice when you are taking on this martial arts, this specific martial arts, is that it also improves your posture very much. So I guess being on
Posture,
horseback, it improves your posture as well.
It's funny that word posture. The moment you say that, everyone just goes like this.
Yeah, oh, gotta work on that.
Use some lessons on horseback riding, but doing those two things at the same time, that's the tough part. You
Of
know,
course.
just doing one at a time would be
Right.
fine, I think, for a beginner. But it's
Right.
gotta be tough. And there's a school that teaches you how to do these things. Right?
Right. The one that Chelsea went to was one in Gyeonggi-do province, and that there you can practice, and you can learn separately for beginners if you want. So start with just learning the archery, or start with mastering horseback riding, because even that in itself is very exhausting. I hear horseback riding is a huge calorie burner. 10 minutes on horseback is equivalent to about an hour's worth
What
of
a great
You
exercise.
mean for the horse or for the
The horse does
person?
the running and you drop the
person, I
calories.
hope. For the person, I hope.
And it
yeah.
gives you a good posture as
Yes,
well.
exactly.
Lots to like.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
So before we let you go, how can foreigners living in Korea take part in this ins and outs segment?
Oh, it's absolutely easy and open to anyone who is interested in experiencing a unique part of Korean culture or anything that you are interested in, please feel free to write us your story and what you want to do up on our message board, and that can be obtained on our website, arirang.co.kr.
You know, our ins and outs segments gaining popularity
Oh, is that
overseas.
right?
We're getting people writing in from the U.S. saying, can we take part, although we don't live in Korea, when we visit Seoul, can we take part in this? So I think this is catching on. I like this.
I really invite our viewers to make the most out of that opportunity because it is on us.
It is on us. It's free, and you get to experience new things here in Korea.
With the best team.
With the best
country.
team.
Safely.
Yes, exactly.
If it's not horseback riding, you can do other things like taekwondo and lots of other things,
Yes,
right?
possibilities are endless.
All right, sounds great. Thank you very much, Mina.
Thank you so much for having
Thank you
me.
so much. See you
Thank
next
you.
week. All right, well, that just about does it for this edition of Korea Today.
All right, enjoy the rest of your Monday, and we will see you back here tomorrow at 7 a.m.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.